Homage to the lineage gurus, homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming, to Master Sakya Zengkong, to the 16th Dharma King Karmapa, and Master Dukten Tarji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar, and homage to the main deity of the Dharma practice this evening, Padma Kumara. All Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma lecturers, Dharma assistants, temple directors, disciples present here and over the internet, and our special guest today, Secretary General Liao and Mrs. Liao, Dharma Sister Judy from the NCC, and from Academia Sinica, Professor Zhu and Mrs. Zhu. And the attorneys to the True Buddha Foundation, Dharma Sister Zhou, Jennifer Zhou, and attorneys to the True Buddha Foundation, Mr. Luo and Mrs. Huang and their family, accountant to the True Buddha Foundation, Dharma Sister Teresa, Dharma Brother Gao Minglu, from the CTI TV Taiwan, the producers for the Gini Densang Xinten, Dharma Sister Rebecca Shiyachi, Dr. Wei, and Dr. Zhuang, and from Toronto, Canada, is the Miss Asian World of 2014, Miss Liu. A famous photographer from England, Dharma Brother Tony. Grandmaster said Dharma Sister Tony. How come I always say Dharma Sister? Once in Taiwan and once here. It's a mistake I shouldn't repeat. And the representative for the governor of Amazon's province of Brazil, Mr. Pasma. And from Sao Paulo, Brazil, the president of the Chinese Association there, Ms. Zhou. And from Sao Paulo, Brazil, a professor of the Chinese University there, Mr. and Mrs. Shen. And from the Hua Guang Chinese school principal and wife, the vice president, vice principal. And also from Brazil, good evening, everyone. How do you do? in Taiwanese, in Cantonese, and in Brazil, when we at first meet each other, we would say "saúde," that means great health, and toast, cheers, and great health. It sounds like a Taiwanese. So we have many disciples from different countries, and thank you very much for coming. Tomorrow we'll be here soon. See you soon. I'm truly grateful to all of you coming here today. Very grateful to you. And there are a few Dharma brothers and Dharma sisters from Hong Kong. They came here today, and then tomorrow they'll be joining the ceremony, and tomorrow night they're leaving. So they're only here for 2 days. So they arrived today attending the practice, and then tomorrow they're attending the ceremony, and they're leaving tomorrow night, and on Monday they will go back to work. So I'm truly grateful for their coming here. That's incredible. They're only here for 2 days. That's amazing. So I would like to share a few things today. So I didn't know that the main deity this evening is Padma Kumara. According to the sequence, this Saturday would be Medicine Buddha as the main deity. So I'm wearing blue with a little bit of red. I didn't know it's Padma Kumara. Nobody told me that they changed it into Padma Kumara. So this is a slight mistake. I didn't know. Only after I'm seated here, I heard that it is Padma Kumara. But it's okay, because Padma Kumara has all different colors. So we should say sorry to Medicine Buddha, because the practice this evening was Padma Kumara. And tomorrow is the 3 longevity deities, Amitayus, Homa, Ushina Vijaya Homa, and Vaitara Homa. So that's the 3 longevity deities, and that will also change to become just Amitayus Buddha, right? Yes. So last night, these 3 deities appeared in front of my bed. Amitayus, Vaitara, and Ushina Vijaya appeared in front of my bed, and they said, on the website, it was published that the Homa was 3 longevity deities, but it was because of me, and that in the future we would always have 3 deities, like Golden Mother, Earth Mother, Celestial Mother, and now we have 3 longevity deities. Amitayus Buddha is the great Buddha. 1 deity is good enough. And Vaitara too is a great Tara, and 1 deity is good enough. And Ushina Vijaya is the radiance on the top of the crown of the Tathagata. And there's Manjushri, Chandrasik, Vajrapani radiance on her. So she has the combination of these three deities. They are all great bodhisattvas. And is it good to combine them? We should just go one deity at a time. Otherwise, everybody would combine all the deities. So maybe Homa of 500 deities. Then with one empowerment, you would receive empowerment of 500 deities. Or they are the serene deities and the wrathful deities all together, 100 deities. Wow, that would be too much. And the empowerment would embody 100. Or you would say Homa of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions of the 3 times, and all the Herukas, Dhammapalas, Dakinis, divinities, with one Homa. Then there's no need to have subsequent Homas. No, we should go one deity at a time. But last night, these 3 deities appeared together. So Ushna Vijaya and Vaitara said, you already announced that the Homa was for 3 longevity deities. And you, Grandmaster Lu, said only one deity. So where should we sit then? So they scolded me. So I said, okay, in that case, tomorrow would be the Homa of 3 longevity deities. Sorry, we keep changing back and forth because I spoke too fast. And after saying it, True Buddha Foundation changed right away to become one deity. But now it goes back to 3 deities. And one more thing. From all the temples and chapters from all over the world came to Seattle Lechang Temple. Not just you here, but the day before yesterday, when we are incanting Buddha Amitabha around the temple, circumambulating, and I was reciting Namo Amitabha. As soon as I closed my eyes, I saw that the Seattle Lechang Temple was filled with prajna lights. And all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas from all the temples and chapters all over the world came here together with you. So all True Buddha School temples, chapters, and centers follow the disciples, as many as this, all here fit into the Seattle Lechang Temple, and tomorrow they will all go to the Rainbow Temple. That's what I saw. And just now, as soon as I closed my eyes, I also saw the Big Dipper also descended. So, and they are also to wish a happy birthday. So we are not only grateful to the special guests and all the disciples for your presence here, and also grateful to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 3 times in the 10 directions, and all the Herukas, Dharmapalas, Dakinis, and divinities for their coming and presence here. Truly, thank you. So this is the meetings of all here. And just now we listen to the words of Secretary General Liao, and there are several attainments in the Great Perfection Dharma. The one that Secretary General Liao mentioned, that during his quiet sitting meditation, he found his body is very strong and robust, just like a mountain. And that's the attainment of the earth. And also can be considered the attainment of the Qi, or vital energy, and the earth. And every time he does the Dharma practice, he would perform the 9-cycle Buddha breathing, the Vajra chanting, the treasure vase energy yoga, and that would be the attainment of the wind or air. So in your spiritual cultivation, there's also this attainment. And your body would be sweating, then that would be the attainment of the fire. That's temperature, the attainment of the temperature. And he could see the royal blue light appearing, a royal blue light. That's the attainment of the clear light, which is the attainment of water. So earth, water, fire, and wind, and also including the attainment of purity. When your inner self is pure, then the water would drip and the clear light would be generated. So he could see the royal blue light. So that's the attainments of the earth, water, fire, and wind. Earth is strength and immovability. Water is purity and radiance. Fire also radiance, but it is also it's blazing. It's the attainment of Vajra. And the wind is circulation in the body. Earth, water, fire. When you harmonize the 3, that would be the attainment of the wind. So in Great Perfection Dharma, on earth, water, fire, and wind, and then from these 4 elements, you realize and confirm the Buddha nature. That's the secret attainments of Tantrayana. And Secretary General Liao only practiced for 1 year, and he experienced all these attainments. So other masters that have become masters for many, many years, and they may not have these attainments. So with the real practices for about 10 months, and he continued to practice, and he has these attainments already. He also have the attainment of non-leaking practice. Only for 10 months of practice, He already experienced all this. That's why we call him Lian Zhan, which is lotus praise. So he is here to praise two Buddha Tantric Dharma. And Professor Zhu is from the scientific world and from the nuclear physics. And we are talking about labelings. Actually, the labelings are non-existent. I often say in simple words. Let's all label this and that, this person in this, that country is that, or that family is this and that. We all label all of those. Actually, they're all non-existent. I often say it. It's very simple. There was a star that flew by the earth. That was just a warning that any time there could be meteor showers, huge meteor that would fly near the earth, very short distance to the earth. And one day, maybe there would be a shooting star or meteor, maybe with this one chance out of many, the meteor would hit the earth and all the labelings would be gone, right? The countries would all be gone, the societies would be gone, families are gone, every person is gone. So that would be called game over. All the games are over. The labelings are all gone. So those who study geology and that the earth had experienced seven creations of the earth. And every time the ocean becomes mountains and mountains become oceans. And all the crusts of the earth are hitting each other, and all the living plants, the living beings are all gone. So I like to ask you, where are all the labelings? So in the eyes of Grandmaster, where are the labelings? The labelings are non-existent. There had been 7 orogenies. So there's no need to keep it in your heart. So what Grandmaster has is the wealth of the heavens, the intangible wealth. It doesn't imply money. So Grandmaster is also called the Vajra of great wealth, and you think it is money, and you think by practicing Padma Kumara you would gain a lot of money and you would win a big lottery and earn a lot of money. No, not necessarily, because the fortune is the fortune that belongs to heavens. That's why we call it great fortune. And the fortune on earth is just a small fortune. There's no need for us to be envious of the rich people, like Guo Taimi of Taiwan or Bill Gates of America or Lee Kai-seng of Hong Kong. There's no need for us to be envious of them. Why? Because one day they would be like a great businessman of Taiwan, and he lost everything because he had passed away, and what's left are his descendants fighting over the inheritance. And what use is there? Because when you grew old and die, it would be repeating it again. It would be game over. Enough is good enough. Everything as long as sufficient is good enough. In the daytime, we would be happy. At night, we have a good night's sleep. That would be called great fortune. That in the daytime we are happy, and at night we have a peaceful and good night's sleep. That is called happiness. That is happiness. Don't think that having money is something to be envious about, or high position. They are all temporary. Look at ex-president Appian. He was president for a time, and then now he is a prisoner in jail. So that status and position is only for the moment. Money is also for the moment. You know, I've said this before, that in ancient China, the richest man would be I couldn't think of it. Ching was the richest one. And now, where's his money? And I've seen that TV series called 巧家大院. The dynasty of Chao family. And as he grew old, he went into his safe or storage. And at that time, they used the round places, and he had tons of gold. And as far as he could see, gold and silver in his storage, in his, we call it like a bank, like gold and silver as far as he could see. And this elderly man finally was awakened that all those don't belong to him anymore. He worked so hard all his life, and at the end he realized that it didn't belong to him. So wealth, name, and pleasures or beauties, those even more temporary. So you may be youthful and young for a period of time, and then after time passes, you're still beauties, but we would call them like the aged beauties. Like there was a Dharma sister that often said, I was beautiful too when I was young, but now she's like a grandma. And And in the past, I often forget people's names, sorry. The sister of Xing, where is she? What's the name of your sister? Oh, Lai Mo Xiang. When she first came to Seattle Lijiang Temple, she sat on the first row. That was her first time. She didn't know how to form the mudras. And of all Taiwanese, she was born in Taiwan. She's a native Taiwanese. And at that time, she's the most beautiful of all local Taiwanese. And she was seated here, and she didn't know how to form the mudras. And all the men surrounded her to teach her how to form the hand gestures. So she started forming the mudras. That was my impression. And at lunchtime, Master Lian Gao said, let me invite you for lunch. Master Lian Gao, did you? Did you invite her for lunch? Master Lian Gao and a few others wanted to invite her for lunch. And Ta Sen Po behind them and said, how come nobody is inviting me for lunch? There are several men inviting her to lunch. And yet Ta Sen Po said, how come nobody is inviting me? Everybody is inviting Lai Mo Xiang, Dharma sister Lai. So there is a difference. If you're young and beautiful, you would meet nice people everywhere. And there are lots of people chasing after you. But if you're old and wilted, then you walk alone. Even when there's a car passing by, nobody's giving you a ride. But if you're young and beautiful, the cars would stop next to you. Let me drive you. Where would you want to go? Give you a ride. Then there would be a ride. Someone giving you a ride. Even when it's the other direction, and they would drive very slowly, so they have more chance to chat. But let me tell you, youth and beauty are not forever. Ta Sen Po also said that in the past she was too a beauty. And there were many people chasing after me before. So wealth, name, and look or form are not forever. Is there anything that's permanent on earth? Only Buddha Dharma. But only Buddha Dharma is great fortune. Just now, someone praised Grandmaster and like Simu, saying about Grandmaster's physics and stamina. And at my 70, I only showed once to show my muscles, my naked upper body, to about 1,000 people. And that's the only time. No more chance for that. There was an old maiden of Vancouver. Please don't cry out again. She's still yelling right there. Young maiden. Please don't ask me to bear myself again. I don't have any muscles to show anymore. Although muscles in Chinese also sound like chicken. I am a chicken. So I cannot show my muscles because someone is asking me to. But even this physics or physical body is not forever. I train every day. I do push-ups and sit-ups and Vajra fist exercises and also other exercises. I exercise about 2 hours every day. And I move all parts of my body. All parts of my body are exercised. And the part that doesn't move also move. So all over my body, all parts of my body will exercise. So this way I maintain my physics and my physical body. But for how long? So for however long it lasts. So for however long it lasts. Is it raining outside? So why don't you get off the rain? It rains very hard. It's okay to rain now, but not tomorrow. That would be bad if it rains tomorrow. So I'm maintaining my physical health, but we often say that our life starts at 70, and at 70 our body starts to digress. So you're clapping for that? You would never know. Maybe you would say, why don't you show at 80 once again and at 90 again? So at 70, after showing it to you, maybe I don't dare to show it to you again at 80 because and they would be like drooping or collapsing. So as a human being, we would never be able to maintain our physical body forever. That would be impossible. So as a Buddhist, we have to recognize this, that nothing stays forever. And the truly everlasting thing is in the heavenly realms, not on earth. Let me read a piece from the book, The Great Completion. Because of my affinity to be the Vajra Tantrika, I started to write the first and foremost of the Tibetan Tantrayana, and that's the Great Perfection Dharma. I know that all the Buddhas radiated light upon this earth and have prepared the boundless, expansive Dharma ship. However, I also know that because of this great radiance of the Guru, it shocked the heavens and the earth and the human beings. And the three Maras started to appear to show the evil forms and calling upon the dark underworld to press upon the Guru and to start doing evils and to say that there is no cause and effects and to turn everything upside down. So if sentient beings don't practice the authentic Dharma, then they would be fall into the three lower realms. So this means that the Guru, although they have provide salvation, wide salvation of all sentient beings, but all the same, there would be a lot of evil oppositions that would appear. So that's what it meant here. So that the celestial Maras, with a lot that's mostly evil, would create a lot of contention and fightings and disturbing the proper Dharma, and to induce indulgences and to entice practitioners to abandon the proper or the right path. And sentient beings do not know that this creates a delusion, and they don't follow the proper rituals. So in spiritual cultivation, we have to stay committed and not influenced by the outer world. And before we were talking about labelings, and we should not be concerned because those are events of the earth, and Grandmaster belongs to the heavenly realm. So that's why in the daytime I'm very happy, and at night time I have good night's sleep. I have a shortcoming. If I sleep straight like this, in the morning when I get up, I would be slanted. That's why, this is the play of word of Chinese. It's like a deviant teaching, but actually also like sleeping sideways. So it's okay. This is just a phenomena of the world. So in the world there are a lot of irrational reasonings. But for us, it's the rational unreasonables. So in the world there are lots of things like that. But in the heavenly realms, whether you're rational or irrational, they're all fine. They don't exist there. We all belong to the heavenly realms and not to the worldly realms, to the mundane world. A woman asked the man, "Did you see the man next to you?" And the man said, "Yes." And the woman said, 5 years ago, after I rejected his wedding proposal, he started to drink till now." And the man replied, Really? He had to celebrate for that long? So that's called reasonable and unreasonable combined together in this joke. So we should be celebrating because all the other religion schools call themselves the proper ones. The Muslim, Catholic, Christianity, Buddhism, Confucius. Only True Buddha school is deviant. So what happens? I don't know. So that's a mundane world. But you need to think clearly. All these proper religions come from deviant religions. So Christianity was deviant at first. And even the Catholics too, the Catholicism, or the Muslim too. Of course, I cannot criticize them. Otherwise, I would be ostracized. So look at all the religions that at the beginning of those religions, they were also being ostracized. Muhammad escaped from Mecca to Medina, and he was ostracized by the society and religions of that time. And Jesus too, even worse. At 30, he started to give teachings, and at 33, he was crucified on the cross. He hasn't even started for very long. He was already crucified. So Jesus Christ was the worst. He only taught for 3 years. And being called a Messiah, he was crucified. But Grandmaster has been teaching, propagating Buddha Dharma for 40 years. So I am more than happy. So happy. So Jesus was only teaching for 3 years and crucified already, but I had been teaching for 40 years and my body is still so great and strong. So it is so perfect. I often say, so perfect. So this is worth celebrating and to be grateful for. Recently, the mom is really upset and she's losing her temper at all times. So I asked my dad, so isn't she a Buddhist? Why is she always losing her temper? And the dad answered that, oh, but she is worshipping the god of battle. So please don't forget, Sakyamuni Buddha said about no contention. the most important spirit of Sakyamuni Buddha is no contention, which means that he goes with the flow with everything in the world. He is not fighting for anything. So actually, when Sakyamuni Buddha started to go public, he was also criticized and defamed by the 6 great masters that were all monks, because their concepts were different from Sakyamuni Buddha's. Because Sakyamuni Buddha believed in no contention. And he was being criticized and attacked by these 6 big groups, 6 big orthodox groups. Like when Grandmaster visited Malaysia, there were also 6 major groups attacking True Buddha School. At first, there were 7 groups, and one of them decided to resign. So there were 6 major groups left over attacking True Buddha School. So that matched to the time of Sakyamuni Buddha, where he was attacked by 6 major orthodox groups, religious groups. So it's all the same. So it's all the same from ancient times to now. So when someone has seen the Buddha nature, has gained enlightenment and has seen the Buddha nature, naturally you would receive a lot of criticism and attacks. However, Grandmaster has the same spirit as Sakyamuni Buddha, and there are only 2 words to describe it that means no contention. In the interpersonal relationship, if you have this no contention, you would be able to connect with the mass. So, like the great ocean, because the ocean can embrace thousands of ships. That's why you're called great. So, when one has gained enlightenment, has gained true understanding of the ultimate truth of the universe, then one would naturally be called great and merges with the Tao. So if you have contention with others, then you would become small and you would never become big or great. So the most important spirit of Buddhism is no contention. So when Sakyamuni Buddha has entered into Nirvana, there are splits in the group. So there are the upper group, the lower group, and divided into 16 different groups, and they're all attacking each other. So they all forgot about what Sakyamuni Buddha said, the most important spirit of no contention. And why no contention? Is once you enlighten, there would be no contention. If you have not gained any enlightenment, then you would have contention, you would have disputes, you would have fightings, you would have arguments. So like someone that worship the Monkey King, called the Sun Wukong of the Journey of the West. So he's like a warrior, the god of war. So he always hit upon the demons. But even the demons, if you have reliances, if you have backings, then eventually they would become Buddhas. But if they don't have reliances, then they would be killed by the Monkey King. So even the lions and the elephants of Samantabhadra all came down. All the pets of all the bodhisattvas, they all came to disturb Tang Sanzang, the monk. So Kuan Yin Bodhisattvas has pet, which is the bird or dragon, and Grandmaster's pet would be swan here. I like something that flies. Like Vishnu's pet is the bird Garuda, and Brahma's pet is the white swan, and the destroyer Shiva's pet is the white ox, right? They all have pets. So when all these pets came to the Tang Sanzang, the monk of the Tang dynasty, eventually they become Buddhas. But when they don't rely on the monk, they all would be killed by the Monkey King. But all of you can rely on the Vajra of great health, which is Padma Kumara, Grandmaster Lu. At the bar in the village that's called tavern, there are two priests drinking together, and they're drinking too much and they got elated. And one of the priests said, "Let's get on a motorcycle and drive around, ride around." So the other priest and they got stopped by a policeman. So you drink and drive and you don't wear helmets. So I would fine you. And the priest panicked and said, "You know, actually the God was the one that rode the motorcycle." And when the policeman heard that, he said, "So now there are 3 people didn't wear helmet, and then you have 1 too many passenger on the motorcycle. So there's no need for you to argue. Then maybe you get a smaller fine. And the more you make excuse, then the worse it gets. The more excuses you make, the worse it gets. So if you made the mistakes, then just let you be punished. Like last night, Grandmaster was reprimanded by Ushina Vijaya and White Tara. So where should we sit then?" And they said, "You should be careful when speaking in the future. Like it is okay to have the 3 longevity deities, but we cannot have 100 deities, whole mouth, all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dhammapalas, Dakinas, divinities, all together. But 3 deities are still okay. So if you made an excuse and said that the God was the one that's riding the motorcycle, it's still okay. You can be sympathetic toward them. Since it is God riding the motorcycle, then we should respect them." One day, a group of friends went drinking, and one of them drank too much, and he still wanted to ride on a motorcycle. So he wobbled and left the bar, and as he was climbing on the motorcycle, he started to yell at the keeper of the motorcycle. How did you watch the motorcycle? Someone stole the parts. And the guard replied, hey, you ride backward. He thought the bar was stolen, but actually he rode backward. So he thought it was stolen. Actually, it was behind him. So sometimes when we speak, we should be careful. Maybe we make a mistakes. Like the other day, I told Master Lien Ning, how could we combine these three big deities together? Actually, it's fine, but not 4, 5, 6, 7 deities. So that's why we want to be more careful, because it's already announced. So Ushina Vijaya and White Tara knew about it, and they came already, and they were waiting for the ceremony tomorrow. So please please let them have the deities. So you have to change the mantras again. So this evening, you have to change the empowerment banners and the mantras for the 3 deities and the 3 Buddhist statues. They all have to be placed on the altar. So sometimes when we speak, it's like this. The wife is pregnant and about to give birth, and she was scared of the labor, and she started to cry, and the husband said, don't worry, don't be afraid, I'm facing it together with you. And the wife was glaring at him, and why don't you give the birth and I'm the one accompanying you or facing you? So sometimes when Grandmaster speak carelessly, that would happen. So these days, Grandmaster wash dishes every day and throwing out the garbages. And she placed a vacuum cleaner in front of my bedroom's door, and I pretended not to see it. And finally, yesterday, she couldn't stand it any longer. She did the vacuum cleaning. So sometimes you should sympathize with others, because she doesn't wash the dishes, so you just wash them yourself. And I always be the one that throw the garbage out and pulling the cart out and back in. Last night I pulled the garbage cart back in. Yeah? Was it last night? The abbot of Seattle Lijiang Temple went to my home. Master De Hui? He's not here. And Dharma brother Tony, you went to my house, right? So he took the newspaper away, but he didn't pull the garbage cart in, right? So did you see the garbage bin there? You just saw the newspaper on the ground and you took it away, right? So he just took the newspaper, right? I knew that he was the one who took it. I could check it spiritually. The newspaper in front of my house, but the garbage bin was next to the newspaper, and you didn't pull the bin in, and it's empty already because the top was flipping out, was open. So I should reprimand him. So please pay attention to our speech, our behavior, our conduct, and our mind, our thoughts, all the thoughts inside your head. Don't think that other people will know, but the gods and the ghosts and the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas would know. I have told Professor Zhu that the future science would know what you are thinking. It would be so progressive that the science would know. Even the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas already know about that. You pay homage and you say something inside your mind, inside your heart, the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas would know, because there is brain waves and lights from your brain, from your head. So it's like showing a movie. So if you have good thinking or bad thinking, it would be shown. You would never be able to lie to the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, or gods or ghosts. So when you dream at night, there would be like a movie in front or above your house. And when the four heavenly kings are flying around, they would be able to see those movies. So when you dream, the dreams you have would be shown above you. So Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, gods, and ghosts would be able to see all those. So the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas would have great transcendent power, and the gods and the ghosts have small transcendent power. You would never be able to lie to them. So that's why we should always be truthful. There's no need to deceive. And we have to always maintain purity in our body, speech, and mind. Om Mani Padme Hum.